The way you set up the title of your stream and like create a new stream and like it's so fucking stupid, it just pisses me off every single time. And it's like it erased my stream once. I streamed for like a whole hour or two and it just deleted it because I like didn't change the name properly or I changed the name afterwards or whatever. It's extremely unclear what's going on, and it's also extremely laggy. It took about like 15 to 30 seconds to like end the stream and restart it, and so it's like it's just so fucking bad. But this is the life we have, where we have crazy technology where we can stream live, 4K video, but we can't figure out how to tie our own shoes. So here we go. It's been a minute since I've streamed. I'm doing as great as ever here, folks, on planet Earth. And, I don't know. Let's just vent before I try and work on something. Clearly growing out my beard. Clearly haven't showered in a day or two. Don't give a fuck. Fell down a rabbit hole about JFK. Apparently, the CIA was heavily involved with Oswald and the mafia, and there's a couple guys who've recorded all these interviews that have some pretty fucking crazy, elaborate stories that are either completely, well, maybe not completely true, but, it's like there's a lot of detail, and it's either mostly true or mostly false, and nobody really knows because a lot of it's classified, but there's a lot of detail, and either there's people who can just create very plausible details, like, at length, and okay, I'm getting a error from YouTube. Go fuck yourself. I think it works. I think they just are warning me that they don't like it or something. It says it's an error. It's not red, it's yellow. Who the fuck knows? Like, software is a black box. You don't really know what it's doing. Speaking of which, here is on the screen here a screenshot of what happened when I opened OBS. And more basically, this says, push this button to accept a bunch of software changes that are listed here, but like it's code and it's cryptic and, it's open source, and hopefully they vetted the changes and, read through every line of code to make sure it's not doing some sneaky bullshit. However, it's putting like the names of the contributors, I think, at the end of these changes. Like Wan Hong King sounds Chinese, and PK Viet sounds like Vietnamese or something. It's like, it's not necessarily malicious, but sounds pretty suspicious. And so I said, remind me later. I mean, generally, I'm a proponent of software updates, but it's just, the truth is, you're just taking a magic pill from somebody. You don't know what the fuck it is. They're telling you it's okay. Like, hey, you want this pill? Like, sure, give me something. Let's see what happens. Fuck around and find out, right? So goes life. Well, I mean, the entire Windows operating system, the entire OBS software that you're downloading in the first place, it's all just massive risk. But every update that comes is another, you're just opening the door for potential invasion of privacy. Not that I fucking care. But, okay, so been wasting a lot of time lately. I jumped on this website called FiveMind. There's this guy, Liberal HiveMind, YouTube channel that is making his own social network, which is sort of what I'm trying to do. He's actually got it up and running, and it's like a memery, which is an idea that I had thrown out there in the past. And so, I don't know. I started posting just some random shit, and, just trying to get people to respond, like asking a question. These are just some, like an old design template I pulled up. It's not great, but it was just like, it's trying to build a meme team. Nobody wanted to work together. Nobody fucking cares about anything. They just care about themselves. They don't want to be like involved in something. They just want instant gratification. So I started actually trying to make a meme that means something. And it doesn't really visually communicate exactly what I wanted, but I didn't even post this one. Maybe I should. Let's just do it real quick for shits. Copy and paste. It's like, so this is the essence of my life, is that I don't know what to do, what to work on next, what's going to be worth the while. And there's a million things you can do. And it's like, is it worth it? And, it's never clear. So it sucks because I think it's all rigged. My mind, my spirit, my everything, it's all rigged. It's part of the fucking game. And we're meant to, like, we have this illusion of free will and whatever, and I think we do have some free will, but I just fucking hate it. Alright, so page not found. There we go. Alright. Still have the same stats here. Nobody's seen my shit more than they did yesterday, so the algorithm has basically killed my shit here. Not exactly the meaning. I'll just post it. I'm just trying to like start a conversation, but I don't think people want. I mean, huh. Yeah, I mean they're definitely like right wingers, and so I just, I mean I don't definitely lean. Man, so this guy like just does some sort of question and gets like massive props for it. So who knows? Who knows what the fuck is going on in life? I think, well, if he already had a bunch of followers and whatnot, then it's more likely that he gets. It's like Grok made him this because he can't do graphic design without it. But anyway, waste of time is kind of what I concluded. I sent an email to these guys like, hey, I could help you out. I'm a graphic designer, developer, whatever. But fuck it, back to my site, right? Is it even running? Let's see. I mean, it's so slow going that I just don't really want to work on it anymore. Well, I mean, I do. The effort and the reward is just so, I think it's node server. It's just so slow. Whoa, this is really zoomed out. All right, so getting these layouts to work properly, I made a hash pager, which is kind of cool. I can create deep pages. I like generated all these pages just to test the layout. And so it's sort of like a Trello board or whatever, where you just have like, you could have infinite depth. Now what's weird is that when I tried to make it even deeper, it kind of bombs out. And I don't know exactly why. Let's try it again, just for shits. Hash pager, we had this make 3, not that one, there's another one, make 5 here. So if we go up to like 8, it was bombing out. And I wasn't, actually it could have been because I had the dev tools open. Let's try again. That rendered pretty quick. Brought me back to the same page I was on. Let's reset the thing. Let's try going deep, 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 deep. It's actually not lagging now. Maybe it's because the dev tools were open when I did it, and then it makes it. I was trying to go up to like 15, and that definitely bombed out. It just like wouldn't work. And so I thought there was something buggy with or slow with my code. The header up there is not really working right. And I haven't really thought through how, to either like condense the contextual base of this whole, imagine like a Wikipedia or something where you could create deep content. that's the idea here. I think multi-column content, I take a lot of notes, and Notion's got, like, this is a multi-column workflow. We got a sidebar here, and we got notes here, and we got, each note opens up in this little side thing here. And so, yeah, there's just so many options, so much shit to do, and it's like, oh, fucking hell, man, I did it again. See, I gotta keep OBS. I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm a fucking loser. Alright, let's try this again, just to show you. I'm gonna reset the page and show you how these deep pages work. Boom, 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 boom. It could be potentially as deep as you wanted. I auto-generated these, so it just kind of like diminishes as you go down, just so I can see how it works. I can actually use my mouse wheel to side scroll, which is, if you have a mouse wheel that does that, it's kind of cool. But, I've been thinking about, like, should the pages be different sizes, where, like, the first page is, like, the primary page and is bigger. I mean, there's so many variants. In fact, I was taking notes this morning about just, like, trying to figure out what the fuck should go where. A one-page website. Let's go back to the home page real quick here, and let's go back to the home page. There we go. Like, just a long scrolling single page. That's the traditional website, but it's just such bullshit that, like, to have all this wasted space, that I've been trying to make use of it and figure out, like, how do you make the better use of this? By the way, here's a drag and drop thing that's pretty badass. I've been meaning to show. I've been thinking maybe I need to get a job and just show people that I can do some kind of UI things. This is really cool, and it's it's a sortable, draggable, nestable UI, and that's pretty tricky to do. And so if you're trying to make a file system, that's obviously useful. And it's actually pretty simple code once you get it working, but it took me like a fucking week or two to get it working. So I can turn on this debug thing, and it, like, shows a little bit of the behind the scenes of how I'm tracking all the different, like, hover containers and targets and drop zones. And the sortable thing was kind of crazy too, but, like, it's cool, I think. I like it. So I got this game I made, fucking 3D, blah, blah, blah. But, life, before I try and, like, continue with any of this bullshit, it's like, I just want to make something clear. In case I wind up dead, either on my own accord or somebody else's. Looking into JFK conspiracies, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on their radar, so I don't think I'm really any risk. But you never know. Life is such bullshit. It's like, this is like the biggest lesson of my life is that, I've searched for truth. Why are we here? Where'd we come from? Where are we going? We're flying through space on a little marble with no communication, allegedly, with anything, except now we're seeing potential aliens. The tall whites, I just heard a crazy story from some guy about, how he hung out with aliens for a while and the army knew about it or whatever, it's wild. It's like such a detailed story that is almost like, what? Like, how could you make that shit up unless you just thought about it every day for years and years and years in some sort of mental institution or on drugs or both, or I don't know, whatever. Maybe CIA gave him LSD because they seem to like to do that. But in any event, lots of UFO bullshit. Maybe misinformation, maybe not. But how did we get here? Well, presumably, there must have been some sort of intelligence to help design the DNA that helped us evolve, because, if you think that, like, there was no intelligence and DNA just randomly evolved, and then we, bacteria, these complex organisms evolved from simpler organisms I don't buy it. I think the DNA is too complex and it wouldn't evolve on its own without intelligence. I mean, the DNA is so. I wouldn't say it's necessarily more complex than the bacteria, but it's like. It's just not something that could evolve on its own. A system of coding and, zipping and unzipping and, like. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems fishy as fuck. And it seems kind of like it's part of the game. Like, we were encoded with this system that we'd obviously eventually have microscopes to figure it out, and we don't really know why we're here. And we've probably been to the future, is sort of another conclusion that I've made. So if life were like a game of StarCraft or any kind of civilization building game, then you'd start primitive and you'd level up to like through Bronze Ages and Iron Ages and technology information ages, and you'd get cell phones and computers and nukes. It's just sort of an inevitability of the system that we're living in, right? And so, well, then the next question is has anyone, anywhere, lived into the future before? Or are we literally, like, just evolved from building blocks and intelligence is just this thing that evolved? And it's like, well, hold on a second. What is consciousness? Consciousness isn't actually necessary for life. In fact, I could be a biological robot. I could be completely deterministic. Sort of like a computer or a robot, right? Like, my brain is squishy. It's not really like metal circuitry, but there are neurons and there are electrical pathways and there are fairly deterministic things that happen in the brain. However, we have this illusion of free will, and there might be some truth to it, but it is sort of an illusion because, like, we don't really know why we do what we do and why we think what we think and why we feel what we feel and how that all comes together to, make the decisions we make. We just kind of say the things that we say, like, it just all happens. We're just kind of winging it, right? Nobody really understands what's going on here. So, life is fucked. And anyway, I think we've been to the future. I think humans, like, the whole system is like, I don't know if it's real. It feels pretty damn real to me. If you got strapped into some sort of VR system, plugged into the Matrix, like, if it feels real, like, isn't that enough to assume it's real? I think it's pretty real. It feels pretty real. Now, is there something more real? Is there like some sort of spiritual realm that we're all from? Probably. Is life meaningless and worthless in that real world? Are we in some sort of just like, I don't know, shithole prison, like, where it doesn't really matter? There's really no significance to it. We got sent here because we fucked up in the real world, or on another planet, in a better place. And now we're kind of relegated to Earth 616 to just be fucking dummies and shoot nukes at each other until we melt our skin off. That's what it seems like. I don't trust it. I think the whole thing's fucking rigged to the spiritual level. The spiritual level is like, it's like what's inside your brain and what's behind your eyes, doing the seeing, doing the thinking or feeling or whatever. You are not a brain. You have a brain, but you're something, more fundamental than that brain. And it's a spirit or a soul or whatever. I don't understand it. I wish I did. I've been searching for truth. But what I do know is that there is so much steamy, stinky bullshit in this planet. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, I've been trying to succeed and failing, and I'm not a dummy. Like, sometimes I do stupid shit, but I'm not completely stupid. Now, I have used a lot of drugs and caffeine and alcohol and kind of numbed my brain and soul and whatever. And so I don't have the capacity I used to. I don't have the energy I used to. I don't have the mental, motivation, focus, capacity, capability. Like, I'm a lesser man than I used to be. But I'm not a complete idiot, and my struggle for achieving success, I'm sure it's shared amongst a lot of people. A lot of people are like unhappy with what they're doing, trying to get somewhere in life, and can't seem to do it. And so it sucks. It's like, especially because there's so many assholes out there who become successful. Most of them, I'm not going to say they're lucky, but like, I don't think most of the successful people really tried harder than, the miserable failures who actually have gotten back up, gotten knocked down repeatedly for decades and just still fail. And yet you have, people who kind of just walk into success. Like, yeah, they're motivated for it. If you're not, it's obviously not going to happen. Sort of right place, right time, right ideas, all the things align, and like 1% of people become like ultra successful, and those are the people that we take note of on social media, in real life. This is the human illusion that I've been kind of like trying to wrap my head around, and it's sort of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, where 20% of the population achieve 80% of the results. And this is, kind of just a rule of life. And it's kind of crazy. It's actually, I think, quite natural or normal, or, it's not necessarily bad. Now, in some cases, we have extreme inequality. And, well, why is life bullshit? Why do I feel like it's rigged? It's because I do nothing but try and focus myself on something that's worthwhile. What's worth the while? How long is it going to take? Is it worth it? Did I go get a job at Home Depot? Is that going to make me happy? Is that going to produce any kind of meaningful results for me? Should I give up on all my web design and development and social media marketing and video and content and streaming, or invent something or sell a product on Amazon? It's like I played Albion Online, and it's just the whole marketplace, like selling shit thing. It's such a thorn in my side because I'm tempted to kind of try and run down that path and give it a actual effort. Order some kind of product, try and sell it online. The problem is that, well, number one, my wife doesn't want to let me spend any money on business ventures, which is kind of bullshit because it's our money and I shouldn't really have to. She acts like she's in charge of it because she's working, and I'm sitting here on my butt taking care of the kids on rare occasion, like in the mornings to get them to school and to drive them around to fucking gymnastics and soccer practice and shit. But anyway, don't have the money for that, don't have the time, energy. Well, it's like any fucking shiny bell and whistle or whatever is like, it's just another trap. Life is full of traps. Doesn't really matter what you do. It's an illusion. It's to get you to fail so that you get stuck, so that they can just fucking grind you into the ground until you give up. That's what life is about. It's a test to see how quick you're going to give up. The problem is, and it's like I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that if there was some light at the end of the tunnel. And there is. It's like I got this web framework. I could make a website. I could get people to come and join my website. I could try and create my own little thing. Company. Like web design, development, marketing, like, and I'd love to. But like right now, and actually not just right now, but for the last like 10 years, I've been stuck in that mode. I can show you my website from, 7 years ago, or holy fuck, 8 years ago now. It's decent, but it's kind of the same thing as this one. Let's see if I can find it real quick before I switch all my cameras around. It's a Lou 42 at Firebase. Yeah, that one. Now, I designed this. My graphic design skills have gotten a lot better since I made this thing, and and my framework has evolved a lot. This is kind of an old version. It's an SVG logo, which scrunched down. I don't know. It's not bad. It's kind of like this folded paper look. Can I get this open in a new tab? Open a new tab? No. Edit as HTML. I don't think. Here, watch this. This is a fucking crazy little maneuver here. Copy outer HTML, body, edit as HTML, delete this whole fucking thing. Boom, shakalaka. Control paste, enter. No. Where'd it go? Oh, give me a fucking break. Where's my logo? Where's my fucking logo? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so that didn't work. I thought that was going to be good. Anyway, this thing will scale to whatever's... Oh, there it is. My fucking SVG logo. I think this was kind of tricky to get it, like, to look properly. It doesn't look bad, but it's just a little too, like, aggressive or trying to be cooler than it should be. Anyway, the whole thing is... I mean, I like the background, the little pixely thing. The layout here, it's a little, like, squished up top and too much space here. But it is, you know, it is kind of my own framework. None of these link blocks worked. I was going to set them up. There was some of these things that you could click on and they would move around. Anyway, yeah, 2017. Well, I had this whole router thing. I created a bunch of tests. I had, like, logging and... Why does the logger not work? Log. I renamed things like millions of times. I created a little test system that actually like would render the code. I think the code's rendered with like Code Mirror or something, which is kind of cool. It doesn't like update in real time, which is, you know, creating like a live editor is what I thought I was gonna do with this. I think I'm turned on. Alright, so where is the actual logger though? Why didn't... I know it's here somewhere. It's a cool little example. That's why I'm going to try and find it. Where is that thing? Oh, motherfucker. Because I could have sworn it was this one. Could it be in one of these? Where is the damn... I just looked at it the other day. I know it's here somewhere. There's like this rendering of stuff here. No? Nobody's gonna watch this. Who the fuck cares, right? Where the fuck was that thing, man? It must have been one of these. Why the heck not? God damn it, I know it's here. I fucking looked at it. It's not in any of these. I don't know what this is doing. This is not cool. Why doesn't this work? Routers, holy fuck, man. Didn't I just go to this one? And this is one of the problems with, you know, building out systems that, these do look kind of cool. The button is fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I've just been endlessly stuck in, like, testing mode where I think, like, this is too slow and hard, and I need a better way to test all the different layouts. And there's a lot of different layouts. I kind of switched over from doing development stuff to design stuff, and it doesn't help. The permutations of designs are like infinite. It never ends. There's like a million ways to do it, and it's not really clear to me yet. This one's pretty... It's blurry because I took a screenshot of this other one, but yeah, that worked pretty well. These things are tricky. Yeah, this one was pretty clean. I actually don't mind this. It's a little like needs some work, but the multi-column workflows, like I was saying earlier, are really tricky. This little page thing with the bent corners is pretty cool. Looks like I created a little like drop-down UI menu thing. But I want to make it responsive. I want to make it work on my giant monitor here and also on mobile. And so I've kind of just fucked myself in that sense, and I realize it. It's just I'm stubborn, and I'd rather die than give up my useless ambitions. So that's probably what's going to happen. Well, so what am I trying to say here? It's like I really want to kill myself because it's just such a bad game, and I'm so miserable each day. My back's always hurting. Let me move this fucking thing over here. My posture sucks, and I work on it, but you know, the more I try and strengthen my back and whatever, the more it just makes my back hurt. And you know, the coffee, I gave up the cannabis edibles. They were kind of helping, but also, you know, just kind of the benefit kept decreasing and the negatives kept increasing, and so I had to let those go. That was kind of fueling me for a long time. It's like I just never wanted to do it, to work on anything, and, you know, I got 100 streams where I'm eating cannabis edibles. So, you know, you can see the before and after. Once I popped the thing, my creativity, you know, all these designs, like most of them anyway, I made when I was kind of flowing on that cannabis. I mean, I can still force myself to work on something, but it's such slow, like, all right, if I want to tackle a big hard problem, like multi-column workflows, like, you know, whatever, routing, you know, like getting the routes and the pages and the UI and getting it all to like just look right, work right, not throw errors. And, you know, there's a lot of shit, and it takes way too long, and it's just so slow. And it's like these systems that are complex. I mean, this is kind of how life works, is that you kind of have this like bottleneck or there's like two sides of the kind of cutting edge. There's like people who are way ahead of the cutting edge that you don't even know about, who are like trying to, you know, that go so deep and try and, you know, make something that's useful. And then you have most people who like don't even know how to use the simple thing that they've made because it's so complex. But it's like, to make that was infinitely more complex, and so it's wild. Life is a fucking crazy place. But unfortunately, I want to give up. And because, I mean, I'm going to put this bluntly, but because I had sex with my girlfriend and got her pregnant, I decided to, you know, take it somewhat seriously and raise my son and then have two daughters, and kind of got my hands tied here. I can't just exit because I can't leave them to grow up in this shithole by themselves. That would be just something I would never do. So, no, can't kill myself even though I want to. Even though, well, I want to be done with life. I don't really, you know, I'd much rather become somebody who's not useless. But, and I've tried, but I'm not willing to go get a job at Home Depot. I'm sorry, I'd rather just hunger strike and die. I mean, I can fast. I've fasted for a week. I could fast for a month. I could fast for however long it takes until I just disappear. And fuck the food. It's good, but I don't need it. I don't want to take that bait anymore. Food is like a drug. It just keeps you alive just so that they can fuck you over a little bit longer. It's a pretty dismal outlook on life. But like, that's how I feel. And I know nobody's going to watch these things, but in the rare case that, like, something happened to me and my kids wanted to dig through them, maybe they'd hear something about, me and who I am. And, well, in fact, I've often thought, like, just in case, my health is such shit. I used to drink, like, so I've given up drinking and cannabis for the time being. I've held on to the coffee. Been taking these Tomcat Alis, which it's also got that Fedogia agrestis in there. That's backwards. Let me. Whoa. Did I just. Oh, well. It doesn't auto. Oh, it does snap to the center. Alright. Transform. Flip horizontal. Alright, there we go. You can read it. Tomcat Ali, Fedogia agrestis. By the way, let me think this through so I don't make a mistake. If you can read this, then that is the real image. The letters are correct. Then it's the right orientation. If you hold something in front of the mirror, you shouldn't be able to read it, or at least you have to read it backwards, because the mirror gives you a false image. And we're all used to seeing our false image, so a lot of camera apps by default, I don't know what OBS does on default. I think I flipped it I don't know why. I flip it back and forth sometimes. I don't mind doing it this way. One of the problems with this is that when you're trying to point at something, if I flip this to be basically the opposite of what a mirror would do, now it's a true image, but it's fucking confusing because if I try and point at something, then it's all backwards. It's just like, it blows my mind every time, and I have to think about what's going on there. And it's like, that's one of those things that it's like, okay, the human brain is ridiculously capable of learning language, of learning all kinds of shit, but there's some things that are just like a little bit outside our grasp. It's like our spirit hasn't, unlocked that capability yet or something. There's so much gamey, stupid bullshit with the whole system. It's like, where did we come from, folks? We do have spirits. We are sort of trapped in our brains. And is it a prison? Are we being harvested for energy? That's what I think the truth is. So, like, well, what do animals do? They eat each other. Why? To survive. What if we are God's, ant farm? We are a colony of humans so that the deities can eat us. Be pretty fucked up, right? Well, what is pain? It's like a real spiritual, thing going on where your brain is essentially taxing your spirit, taking something from you, and it hurts. Your brain consumes you. It's eating you alive. It's fucked up, but I think that's the truth. Would I want my kids to know that? Probably not, but probably. I mean, sometimes when you get exposed to an idea when you're younger, you have a lot more time to process it, and then you grow up with the idea, and it like becomes like a nothing. It does not as big of a deal. One of the things that I kind of came across, I think I was kind of more in my early 20s. No, this was more like 25, mid 20s. I think I graduated. I was back in Michigan, but like I became I got introduced to the idea of determinism and free will in college, I think. I don't really remember how that happened. But it's an age-old idea. It's one of the most important ideas. I've talked about it before on my channel, but nobody watches. And, I guess back to the point is, it's just, when you get introduced to an idea when you're younger, it sinks in a little bit longer. You get, more familiar with it. And now, free will versus determinism is just such a, that's not a confusing one for me. I got my mind wrapped all around that bad boy, and, I don't know, it's pretty simple, in my opinion. Now, some people might struggle with it, be like, wait, what? What does that even mean? Like, what are the implications of that? How does that work? Now, when it comes to flipping the image on the screen, it fucking boils my brain every single time. I just can't remember which way is which, and which one's the true image, And why is it so confusing when, trying to figure that out? Like, I often do a high five to try and help remember. Like, in a real mirror, you can high five yourself. If you're looking at yourself on a computer monitor and you've reversed the mirror effect so that it's the true image, then you can't. Your hand goes like this and misses itself. So, anyway, I think there's some funky bullshit going on. I was gonna take these things. Let's see if we can get these down the hatch while we're talking about bullshit. But I was thinking about making a video to tell my kids what I would want them to know if something were to happen to me. Shouldn't everyone want their kids to be, taken care of or prepared for or whatever? Maybe I can make a business out of that. Be a tricky thing to figure out the economics or whatever business model, but at the very least, creating some videos to like teach. Man, I was not taught what I needed to know in life, and I think that's part of the game. And I think that I was sort of taught that life is a game. I grew up playing video games, watched movies like Truman Show and The Matrix and Vanilla Sky and, Hunger Games and Avatar, and, there's so many movies that point to, like, these alternate realities, and the Bible. The Bible says we're spiritual beings. And so many things, you're not really told growing up. I mean, trying to teach kids about just like life and sex and drugs and politics and abortion and like all the things. Homosexuality, trans, it's fucking crazy. And it's kind of stupid. And it's, a lot of people are happy with their lives. And it's like, that just pisses me off, man. Like, do I dislike happy people? Well, I know that even people who say they're happy aren't fully happy. In fact, if you claim you're happy, you're probably one of the least happy people because you're not, you're lying to yourself about it. But I do think there are happy people out there that, like, generally avoid, bad shit and have figured out how to be a good person, or at least, like, make enough money, go, do what you want to do, go where you want to go, buy what you want to buy, like, even help out other people, donating to charity and whatever, and they, like, they're pleased with their lives and they're happy about it. And it's like, okay. I'm not one of those people. And I don't know. I don't resent anyone, but life is so bad. Okay? It's like, it's hard to imagine how bad life is. Because on the surface level, things are pretty good. Most people are doing pretty well. A lot of people are doing, like, quite well. Most people who are doing quite well also have their fair share of pain. And so it's like, nobody really thinks that anyone has got a perfect life or whatever. And so we're all just kind of like not really sure what to make of life. It's like when the going gets tough, it sucks. And like it turns us into worse people, essentially. Like I know from personal experience. And I don't know. Not even sure the point I'm trying to make, but it's just like, I wish I were happy. I think I could help people, but like nobody, I've been trying to get people to help me for decades and nobody wants to help me. And I have so much potential. I've been trying to tell people that I feel like I have Elon Musk level potential. Maybe there's a lot of people who feel that way. Maybe everyone thinks their idea is such a great idea. I'm definitely one of those people. But like, all right, what would I tell my kids if I were to die tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is, there's just too much stuff to get into. There's just so much, like, self-help. There's all kinds of, I mean, everything that you could say has already been said. It's just there's so much noise, and I don't know, getting shit done is, like, obviously really important, and something that, like, I avoid by turning on my camera and talking to the fucking internet. I was gonna sit down here and try and work on something. I drew up these little drawings, like, trying to get back into it. But, like, I don't know, man. I'm done with it. Life has escorted me down this path of believing in myself, trying, failing, repeat on repeat for decades. And then, obviously, because it's rigged, I've had less control than the system does over my own shit. So that sucks. And I don't know. I mean, maybe the whole thing is complete bullshit. Maybe I'm the only real being in the entire system. It's like, you couldn't prove it otherwise. Maybe it's a one-player game. Maybe the prison of life is a simulator, and I'm stuck in here, and nobody else wants to be stuck in this shithole, and so it's, when you get locked up like this, you're stuck here by yourself. Now, that'd be pretty miserable, to actually conclude that is there 7 or 8 billion people now, and they're all fake NPCs? That one's a doozy. I'd like not to think it, but it's always a possibility. Well, what do we do, team? We give up. Because trying harder is gonna just... Well, they pull the chair, okay? My spirit can see problems and solutions quite well sometimes, but most of the time, it's just fire in blanks. Like, it just feels like, nope. Doesn't feel like a good idea to work on this. This is just too slow, uncertain, long-term, not going to produce any results, not worth the while. Give up. Just go watch TV or something. And unfortunately, my wife, is suffering because of my lack of productivity. She wants me to get a job or something. I'd like to spend some money on Upwork to get some people to help me build my shit, because I think that would help me tremendously, but I don't have any money. I don't have an audience. Should I try and work on something? Use the stream to, like, organize my thoughts? I mean, frankly, that's what I used to do, but, like, I think we're done. So Jordan Peterson said once, like, if you keep trying and failing, you can only do that so much. And as you do that, it gets harder and harder to remotivate yourself. And so then you're just fucked. Like, you can't do it anymore. It's like, I could do it. I could make myself do it, but at what cost? The next time is going to be even harder. And I'm probably just going to be, it's going to be more depressing, because then I'm going to realize, like, that was the last try. It's like, what if this is the last fucking try? It sucks, man. I'm dying here. Maybe physically, but definitely spiritually. Fucking sucks. Government is assassinating its own presidents with the help of the mafia. They cover it up. They steal taxpayers' dollars to do it. Like, the whole CIA is just a cancerous organization. It's like, yeah, CIA, you motherfuckers, scanning this YouTube shit. They probably are, but there's so many fucking hits that they don't have time to look over all of them. But if you're a CIA analyst watching this, go fuck yourself. Do your fucking job. Just watch a couple documentaries about JFK, and it's clear that there's a conspiracy. Well, I mean, they tried to set up Jack Ruby. I think he even knew he was being set up. I don't think he was pro-communist. I don't think he... Well, maybe, but, like, his movements from Japan to Russia back to Dallas, and I think he was doing shit in Louisiana, and they were doing all that Cuba bullshit. There was just so much shit going on. But, like, a couple of those stories, there's this inmate, James Files, I think his name was, and then there's this other guy, Holt or something. They got some pretty wild stories, and I tend to believe them, or at least part of them. But they could be fake. But, like, JFK was trying to pull out of Vietnam. He was against these, secret societies. He had a lot of enemies. It's sort of no surprise they wanted him dead. But, like, how do you shoot the fucking president, guys? And how is there not, like... How do you not overturn every fucking bed and pillow in the country to find the killer? The real killer. Obviously, it wasn't just Oswald with that shitty gun. One guy was saying what shit those guns were. They couldn't hit anything. But 9/11 Commission was also bullshit. That whole thing is just so fishy, and so it's like, can't trust them. Can't trust anything. They're all just conspirators and compromisers and I mean, it's actually like evil shit. I mean, I think there is evil shit out there, and I think that's kind of what fuels the whole thing. But it's probably based on greed and temptation and pleasure and drugs and sex and I mean, maybe it's a game. I'm a gamer. I like playing games. Maybe it's a lesson, a school, a test, something, some sort of experience. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy that I'm putting these videos online. I'm putting myself out there, saying how, like, I hate my life, I want to kill myself. I can't because I have kids. My life is miserable. I have so much potential. I've dug myself a big fucking hole. But what the fuck? I don't know how long my USB was just unplugged. I think I saw it drop off. That's why I fixed it, but I bumped the cord and then the mic goes off. I didn't bump it that hard. What the fuck was that? Anyway, life is just, it's such bullshit, man. It's rigged. It's like, it's fake. I think it's very possible that a lot of people are NPCs, or at least on autopilot in some weird way, where it's like, if you look at the galaxy and look at all the, planets out there, an intergalactic planetary, but it's fucking miserable. It's not worth playing. I'd rather die. I don't think most people feel that way. Like, if you don't feel that way, I kind of feel like you should go fuck yourself, because you have no idea what I'm talking about. So, and even if you claim that you know what it's like to be in a deep dark hole. It's like, okay, but I don't know. Trying to judge people, equate your pain to their pain or experiences to their experiences or whatever, it's impossible to do because everyone suffers bullshit, the bullshit of life. But, you know, if you pray for death, you beg God to let you die, not wake up in the morning, not have to face another miserable day, and you do that day after day for years and years and years, it just adds up. It fucking... Rogan has his whole thing about how, you know, I think it's his family takes one of his marbles one at a time. He's got like this pile of marbles, and there's plenty of them, but every little interaction, you know, they take a marble, and then you just run, you know, I don't know what the joke is, but like getting whittled away, beat down, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Well, so the fuck do I do about it? I'm not gonna kill myself because for a lot of reasons, but do I just play chess all day? Forever? Fucking hell, man. Hate my life. Don't want to work on anything. It's not that I don't want, I actually do want to work on something. I just can't get myself to force myself to just fucking... I just want to break something. I think I have something to offer the planet. I thought maybe there was a purpose for living besides just consuming and shitting on repeat. I feel like our planet could achieve a state of utopia. Economically, culturally, like, there's always going to be inequality, but we can reach a place where most people have most of what they need. Get rid of most of the corruption. But like, I don't know, I mean, obviously that's the goal of life, right? Like if you were to have a planet with any sort of creature, you know, intelligent creatures that have some sort of economy of whatever, that you'd want to like make it better. And you'd want to reach a place where people could live in peace and harmony and like do what they want to do, essentially. I could talk about economics and utopia and what that means, but nobody's listening, and I don't fucking feel like it. It's really crazy though that I don't think all these videos are going to go down in history because there's just too much data. But maybe, we just keep getting better and cheaper storage, and gigabytes are basically become almost free to store. And so like this is now permanent record. It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of fucking content being uploaded. And when it comes to stream stuff, they'd probably get rid of stream stuff first just because it's less quality, which is unfortunate. So maybe I should be saving these things to my hard drive, or my external hard drive, to ensure their longevity. But everything that I've said here I've already said before. It's nothing new. And I mean, obviously what I'm becoming more and more familiar with is this idea that lots of bullshit doesn't matter, even if it's lots of decent bullshit. It's disorganized and it's not polished up and made nice and organized and tidy and look good. One little mistake or drawback or whatever, and people start thinking like, oh, this is bullshit. Fuck this shit. It's part of my problem. Is that I can't get myself to focus on one thing long enough. Pick a certain product or platform and just keep working on one little thing over and over and over until I can make some money with it. I think my brother Eric was telling me that in a text. He said something about making profit. I haven't figured out how to make profit. I mean, I can freelance. I can just do some bullshit. But it's like, that bullshit is just beyond my... It's not beyond my ability, but it's exhausting, and it's not rewarding, and it's not worth the time or money. And there's no end to it. It's like, that's just... you can do it's like laying bricks. It's like, well, how much are you going to pay me per brick? If it's not enough, it's not enough. I'm not going to try and make myself... Well, I don't want to be a bricklayer for the rest of my life. That's basically the gist of it. And I think I have an amazing amount of technological improvements to offer, especially with the web world, because I've been watching, studying software for a long time. But I mean, okay, so this is part of the bullshit, in case, anyone ever is wondering, comes across this video. I've talked about this before, but the amount of high quality content in the world, and it's not just like YouTube videos or social media or Netflix. Think about all the shows and movies and kids shows on Netflix. It's crazy. And they're not all like spectacular, but they're all pretty good. They all require teamwork at a very high level, which basically requires a lot of money to organize, to pay for that team to work at that level for an extended period of time. So the investment is huge. I've been trying to go it on my own and do, turn sand into gold, and so it's like, just can't seem to do it on my own. It's not because I don't have the capacity to do it. I'm more than capable of doing it, and I've spent more than enough time. And at times I've been extremely motivated and insightful, and I can solve the problem. When I get in the zone and I'm cranking through, I should have been done by now. But there's a fucking monkey brain that, whatever the spiritual interaction is that allows me to have thoughts, prevents me from actually succeeding. It'll help me. It seems like whatever that mechanism is does help me in some regard. The creative flow that can just like motivate you and inspire you to do whatever it is that it's inspiring you to do. Like, I've sought
that sought that out and achieved that state via cannabis and caffeine and whatever so many times, and it helps, at least in a specific direction that doesn't help in the long run. That's the monkey brain. All around the mulberry bush. And so I would caution anyone playing the game of life to realize that it's spiritually rigged and that it doesn't really matter how hard you try, or, like, would I advise you to just give up? I mean, sometimes, I guess at this point, yeah, it's like if you're pursuing something that's just, unfortunately, I think they have way too much power, and they're also bad spirits, and so they will bait you into pursuing something and just pull the chair on you so that they know that you'll never do it. It's sort of like, it's luring a kid with candy. It's like, yeah, obviously the kid wants candy. You can probably get him to do whatever you want if he's hungry or really wants the candy, or both. And so then you can lure him wherever you want, and then you just don't give him the candy. It's not like it's a particularly remarkable, or I don't know, it's bullshit, and it's bad, and it's fucking sucks. But that's how I feel. I feel like I've been baited around in life with chasing the things that I thought were worthwhile, worth the time. Design, development, games, game development, design and development, like social media marketing. I spent hundreds of dollars running ads trying to like promote whatever the fuck it is that I'm, posting at that moment, just to like, because I don't have an audience. It's like, well, maybe if I spend $50 on this, people will give me a like. And it's like, I get like 5 likes on rare occasion or something. It's such bullshit. Well, maybe my content sucks. And I'm not saying my content's great, but it's like, I've just failed, I guess. I mean, I think social media is a pretty tough place to succeed, and you have to have a knack for knowing exactly what people are gonna click on, or like engage with, whether it's a like or a comment, reading the comments or adding a comment or whatever. Like, obviously all that shit. You can copy other people's videos. A lot of people just steal and recycle content, which is, I guess that's one way to go, but bullshit and not a great long-term strategy, or at least, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it would be a good thing to invest your time doing. And then you can try and write your own stuff, which I've done on occasion, but it's like, that's a lot harder because people aren't really impressed by low effort, contributions. They want to be amazed. That's what people, you go to social media to be amazed or shocked or whatever. It's got to be like top, 1% of 1% of content is what you want to see when you go to a social media website. So if you just see some dude sitting in his messy office talking to the fucking computer, you're just going to click next so fast it's not even funny. Now, I thought I could maybe organize people like myself who are trying and failing, but it didn't work. Probably because I didn't find enough of them. There's probably not that many people like me who, keep going despite their failures, especially if they're like, don't really have their shit together like I do. It's pretty embarrassing, really. But you got to pick your battles, and it's like cleaning the office here. It's like, yeah, I've done it before, and there's just too much shit to like figure out a good place for all of it, and it doesn't really make it look that much different. And so the end effect or the end gain is like, it's not really worth it. It would take me a long time, and I'd just stress out about like, how do I sort all this bullshit, and where do I put it? And it's not really going to be that much better. It's going to be, moderately better, and take out, it's just the trade-off is shit. Now, I probably should do it just for discipline and whatever, but yeah, I've definitely lost discipline, and it's partly because of my failure. It's because I can't stomach doing things that don't produce any results, which that's the only thing I do is produce nothing, do things that don't produce results. That's called failure. I'm a chronic failure. Miserable chronic failure. And so I can't really do anything anymore. It's crazy. My wife went out of town today. I don't know what time she's like went to work and is going to the airport and won't be back for a couple days, and so I got to take care of the kids. I do not enjoy my life. I want to die. The only thing I would be willing to do is to build a company that, well, build my web framework and build a, do something financially productive. And in doing so, I could make billions of dollars. I've been trying to tell people this. Nobody fucking cares. I mean, honestly, the steps to get the like user authentication and user data, like it's probably not that hard, but it would take several days at least, if not several weeks. It's like, you think you might be able to do it in several days, like you better plan several weeks. And those weeks are not going to be fun weeks. Those are going to be like long days of pulling your hair out, trying to figure out why the fuck the stupid shit is designed like this. It's like, what? What the fuck were they thinking? The whole world is so goddamn smart that everything is like, out of grasp. All the success has already been like, I mean, it's not true, but that's how it seems. Like, there's just, and yet it's all bullshit. There's just so much bullshit. There's so much that could be improved and whatnot. And, well, talk is talk. Getting shit done is the hard part. And it's like I feel like I'm sort of at the finish line here. Like, I just need to finish the race. I'm close. I've been kind of at the same spot for a long time, so it's not really like I'm more likely to just completely fail here than finish the race. But I do feel like the final few steps, well, they're not final steps, but like the next few steps that could actually be like a major improvement for me, which is getting, the user authentication on my website set up so that users can sign in. And then getting, they need to be able to save settings or profiles or whatever, getting their user data set up. I've thought all these things through. It's not actually fresh in my mind because a lot of times I'm just jumping around from thing to thing, and I'd have to, I could pull up some old notes and try and figure all that out. And, it takes me a while sometimes to just load up the problem into my head, think it all through, sketch up a plan, and then have enough of something to go with to sit down at the computer and start writing code to make it work. And that's when it's not until that point that the few days or weeks of battle start. And it's like, the user authentication would be, I know it's going to be just a huge pain in the ass because the shit is just such poorly documented, bad API, just doesn't make any sense, a lot of confusing jargon and technology like JavaScript web tokens and, the way the whole, I think the latest iteration, which they call like Google One Tap Sign In or whatever, is actually a lot easier. It's like more of a one-step API than a two-step API. I think it's still a two-step API rather than more like a 3 or 4-step API. It's crazy. But like, yeah, I think I could do that. But then, getting the user data set up where I'm likely to run into a bunch of bugs, and I don't really have anyone. Well, I could probably get some family to help test it or something, but that would be tricky. And then what? Well, that's sort of the problem. Is like, well, that's a big stepping stone in the right direction, because then I could let users create profiles and post stuff, and actually make like a little network. And I mean, ideally, I'd like to turn it into something like Discord. Maybe add some team building and management shit like Notion, or design stuff like Figma, and maybe 3D stuff like Blender. I think I could do all that stuff, and merging all those programs into one program would be the best thing humanity could do, could have right now. Like a massive upgrade to their software stack, because there's just so much bullshit right now. It's not even funny. But here I am, spinning this fidget instead of working. Why? Because it's rigged. Because my brain doesn't work anymore. Because I don't have the strength to push through the uncertainty. I mean, that's part of it. But like, it's because the invisible spiritual system it's bullshit. It's taxing. They're sucking me dry. And they want me to continue. They want me to push forward, push forth through that uncertainty, because that's the process of them sucking me dry. Like, they basically want me to walk into the fire and just keep draining myself of myself. And you could say I'm taking the easy way out to just sit here and not do anything. But unfortunately, I've forced myself too much. And I started to give up a few years ago, like really give up. And I still kind of was hanging on, but the more I try, the more I realize it's not worth it. Because all of the people who might, come to my aid are actually just NPCs. And so, I mean, it's all just fucked. Like, might as well just sit here and enjoy the peace. Actually, my back doesn't hurt a ton right now. I'm kind of just enjoying the peaceful moment. I wouldn't say enjoying, and the second I said that, it became much less peaceful. For a second, I was kind of relaxed there. Unfortunately, I've come to realize that anytime you feel good in life, it's probably a bad thing, because it's not sustainable, and you're only going to feel worse because of it. I mean, there's been a lot of smart people who have talked about, life is about trying to escape the suffering. I don't think all people arrive at that spot, but like, a lot of people suffer. I mean, I think everyone suffers to a certain extent. It's just how much. But again, until you have tried to kill yourself multiple times, realize that it's not really a great option, especially once you have kids, but you still hate your life just as much, if not more, because of that. It's definitely just like, it angers me that I got myself trapped where I have to, I am now, I have the option to kill myself. Like, obviously I could throw myself on the train tracks or something, and I could escape the pain of my existence, the daily, continuous life, you know, I have half my life left to just be fucking miserable. And I can't. And so I'm basically deciding to endure the pain of life because I'm not willing to make my kids live without a father. At least not until they're older. And so because I'm willingly because I've been forced, it's like in chess, you know, some moves are forced. You have 0 other moves. There's one legal move. You can only go one direction. If you're forced to make a certain decision, it's not much of a decision. Life has forced me to, well, I do have that other decision. It's just not better in my opinion, or at least, I mean, it sort of is. Like, it would relieve me of my pain. Well, what happens when we die? You wake up and you're filled with regret because you did something stupid. It's like, what the fuck, man? Fuck that shit. Fuck you, God. Like, fuck this game. I don't know how we got here. I don't know what we're doing. But God's a cunt. And this shit sucks, man. It's like, I do believe it's rigged. I do believe it's fake. I do believe they're pulling stupid strings. I do believe we're from the future. I believe all the software we've made and will make has already been perfected in certain planets or dimensions or whatever. And so all the science, all the economics, all the politics, all the shit we're struggling with that we're trying to understand, and, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. It's all just a learning experience. But the problem is that it's bad. You know, like, people are suffering. So many of us, I mean, I'm not really one of the people who is working hard and suffering, but imagine trying to hold down full-time jobs while suffering and hating your life and just being miserable, and then being, you know, like, I'm sitting here in my chair being miserable, and a lot of people are working their butt off, you know, standing up all day, and that would be extra miserable. I mean, is suicide okay? It's sort of like, you know, I guess you could say it's selfish because you leave behind people who have to deal with it. So, would I recommend not getting married and having kids? I mean, if you tend to be a depressive person and, you know, think about, like, how it would be better to not live, then maybe, yeah. And then, is it bad to kill yourself? I mean, if you're really in pain, I think, fuck it, man. Like, maybe you'll regret it. Maybe you had something left to give or get or do or whatever. But I don't think people should fear, like, oh, you did such a horrible thing. It's probably worse to abort an unborn baby than to kill yourself, because that's somebody else. If especially if you're, like, old and you have no family left and you're just kind of by yourself, like, why just sit around and wait to die when you know you're gonna die soon and you don't really, and, you know, especially if you're in pain. But then if you're younger and, you know, you just hate life, like, still, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a tough one because generally I think it's a very severe solution, a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Problem is that it's not really temporary. Life sucks. It doesn't really get better. Everybody tells you, oh, it gets better. No. No, it doesn't. It gets worse. Should I tell my kids that? Probably should. Prepare them for the worst. And then if it's not true, then, you know, good for them. If it is true, then at least I told them so. Probably be a mistake not to tell them that. Yeah, it's crazy that this video could go down in history. I mean, it's unlikely that anyone watches my videos because there's so many of them and they're so long and they're so useless. But I think they're kind of unique. I don't think most people struggle with existentialism and spirituality and motivation, and well, people struggle with motivation, but like failure and suicide, severe chronic failure. Should I feel bad for being such a lazy asshole? I mean, I do in a way, but like the alternative of climbing out and trying to fight off the demons that are holding me down, it's just, sorry, I'm not willing to do that. I mean, part of me doesn't think I can. That, you know, I would try for a minute and then just give up again. I was drinking heavily for sort of a whole year. Put on like 40 or 50 pounds and all in my belly. Had a nice big third trimester basketball going on there. If I try and take on more stress, like, I'm gonna break. I've been past the breaking point. I've been barely holding on and drinking myself to sleep every night because it's soothing. Especially that first beer can be amazing. Not as amazing as it used to be, or, you know, like, it's not that amazing. It's just that subtle relief is just like, oh my god. This is what life used to feel like. Like, without the pain. The constant pain. Alcohol is actually quite an amazing substance, if you ask me. Barring the cirrhosis and beer gut. God, I would love a drink right now. I want to create like a internet drinking club. If you want to just like join my stream and crack a beer, that would be fucking amazing, man. I could just use anyone right now to like hang out with, I guess. Feeling some tears coming to my eyes. I don't fucking like that shit. Don't make me feel feelings, you fucking cunt. Who's in charge of your feelings, They just arrive full of bullshit. I mean, your brain's basically shitting on your spirit. Like, just dumping, like, loads of emotion. Doesn't happen often, but I didn't ask for that. I don't want you to fucking do that, brain. Get the fuck off me. Why don't you help me figure out how to make some money, you fucking stupid piece of shit? Hate my life. The pursuit of wealth. It's sure been the downfall of many. It's a fucking trap. The NPCs succeed by the millions. Some of them without even trying, because life is rigged, because they don't have a bunch of spiritual bullshit holding them back. Maybe they paid for the premium version of life. Feels like there's some locked doors in my life. Like, when I try and get focused on something and stay focused on something, I just hit these doors. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is where I'm trying to go. And my brain just keeps telling me, nope, we're not going that way. Nope, 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 we're not going that way. It's like, what the fuck, brain? That's where we need to go. Nope, not happening. No, I'm going to do this. All right. Feels bad. Can't focus. Can't think. Try something else. Nope, we're doing this. Can't think. Can't focus. Look at the time. We're going to give it another half hour, an hour, or whatever. Can't think, can't focus. Nothing happens. It's like, no, this is what we need to do. Come on now. Let's fucking push through and focus and get this thing done. Played this game endlessly for my whole life. And it's such bullshit. It's rigged. There's locked doors. But then what happens, a day or so later, sometimes a week, sometimes a month, sometimes I'm high. Oftentimes it's, eat an edible or something, and all of a sudden, maybe not the doors that I was trying to go through, but some other doors just like swing open. It's like, Jesus Christ. Was that so fucking hard? Am I so dumb I couldn't have opened the door? Like, this isn't rocket science. The doors swing open. Because the spiritual fucking riggery of life, it's like some sort of, I don't know, computer game. Maybe it's spiritual. Maybe it's all organic, like real particles, and maybe it is the essence of life that, there is no deeper, well, maybe the spiritual realm is sort of a deeper dimension, but like maybe this is also just as real and just as important, and mind and body are one. But it's like, nope. The problem there is that if life were important, if planet Earth's future was important, then the spirits would help me succeed instead of holding me back and keeping the doors locked. Because it's important for, well, if it were important to succeed, then I could obviously help the world succeed. The truth shall set you free. Fix the internet. Fix the web. Fix the world. It's my Twitter bio. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares, because they're all selfish NPCs that just care about themselves. I mean, myself included. I'm not trying to say I'm any better, but like, I've been trying to lay it out on a silver platter for people and be like, look, we got to fix this shit, because there's just way too many software tools that don't work very well together. And when you figure it out, like, design and development is, right now we're cutting the lawn with scissors. And in the future, we can automate the whole fucking thing, or at least streamline it, make it way better. But design and development right now is just crazy. Designing websites in Photoshop or even Figma or whatever, and only to recode them. Trying to prototype things in Figma only to recode it all. It's like, what the fuck? Figma's not responsive. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's not real responsiveness. You gotta recode that whole shit. Web layouts are just so fucked, man. They're so unintuitive. It's almost like, the Tower of Babel. Let's just splinter the people into a million pieces so that they can't do anything. Now, maybe it's so that life basically is a coding simulator for half the population. That's some deep shit right there, right? What's the purpose of life? Nobody knows. But what seems to be evident is that there's a lot of people having these experiences. And whatever those experiences are, well, a lot of them are like making TV shows and movies and software. So, well, I don't know. Are those skills important in some sort of like spiritual realm? Fuck if I know. Maybe. But like, well, so what about the whole World War III nuclear annihilation, let's taunt the Rocket Man. Let's let Putin invade Ukraine and just keep fueling that war until like he loses it and just launches nukes at us. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're provoking him. They're trying to like start a fight. They want a nuke because then they can have endless war or whatever. I don't know. That's what it seems like. A lot of money in war. But I think there's a lot of evil people on our planet who know what they're doing is wrong and get off on it. In fact, then it starts small, pretty, simple or like less evil. And then you get compromised and then they draw you in and you do something worse. And then they give you drugs and record you having sex with the wrong person. And it gets worse and they give you drugs and record you participating in murder, sacrifice, child sacrifice, pedophilia. They get that shit on camera. And then you're fucked. So royally fucked you can't do anything except vote for what they want you to vote for. Testify the way they want you to testify. And this is probably the majority of our government is severely compromised by some of the most evil people in the world. I would hope not. I hope it's less than I think or worry, but it seems like maybe they want us to think that it's way, way worse than it might be. But why would they want us? Why would they be, have a misinformation campaign to make us think that it's absolutely the worst, if not to just reduce the confidence in the administration, to sow discord, to create, more of a divide between Americans, to create hatred, to create, civil war, so that they can take over. They got a lot of guns, a lot of tanks, a lot of planes, a lot of bombs. And they're bored. They're probably sitting at their computers like, what the fuck are we gonna do next? Let's fucking do something. Let's start a fight. Well, I could turn this off because I don't know. Don't really feel like working on anything today. Go for a run. It was fucking cold out. I really want a beer, but I haven't had one in a couple weeks. And before that, I was drinking 6 tall boys a day. And so, I mean, it's only like 8, 12 ounces, but it wasn't helping the beer gut. And that was literally, went from like a few days a week to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 days a week. And on some days was even more than that. Like I'd end up drinking more than that. And so if I crack another beer, it's probably just game over for me, unfortunately. What do I do? Internet? Nobody's watching. You leave a comment, but I don't know if YouTube's even going to notify me of it. Because notifications are fucking a nightmare on pretty much every app and device I have. I hate Windows notifications. I hate Android notifications. I hate email notifications. I hate in-app notifications. It's all just a fucking nightmare because nobody's figured it out. And this is one of those bullshit things. It's like we got like nuclear fusion and like shooting cars into space and got AI now, but we can't figure out how to fix our software bullshit. There's so much steamy bullshit in software and technology and business and government and politics and intelligence and military and everywhere. So much steamy bullshit, man. It's like, why is there so much bullshit when there's so many smart people and it's so hard to like succeed at anything? It's so hard to get a good job. The competition is like crazy. There's 10 to 1, you know, like candidates to jobs. At least 100 to 1 in a lot of cases for the good jobs. It's fucking bullshit, man. I hate my life. Is it wrong to hate your life? Jesus Christ. Watch my fucking video, you motherfucker. Don't judge me. Well, I guess everybody is naturally called to judge each other based on just the experience of life. Man, I don't want to listen to some music, but then I have to turn the stream off. I am kind of chilling with this stream energy because for whatever reason turning on the stream is like this connection to something. Maybe the aliens can see this. I think I have some coffee left. I'm gonna go see if there's any left. BRB. I mean, there's so much bullshit in life. It's like the media. I mean, what I've seen from the media is just unbelievable. Focus, camera. Why is this out of focus? Hello, it's autofocus. Come on, Logitech. Autofocus on me face, please. Like it fucking matters. Whatever. Clearly out of focus, you fucking stupid camera. I mean, I guess autofocus is better than not. Maybe the sun just came out and the light is making it. It's still out of focus. Seems a little better, maybe. Alright, so all the bullshit in life. I mean, it's literally everything. Like, if you were to just put a little poop emoji on anything, then, you know, life itself. Lots of fucking diapers and, you know, babies are just fucking whole thing. And well, where do babies come from? From fucking. Or making love. And what the fuck does that mean? That's some bullshit. It's a trap. I mean, it's literally like, well, I don't know, in the ideal kind of Christian sense of purity and finding your, you know, soulmate and having your, you know, losing your virginity with each other and creating a family and whatever. I guess, like, that could be ideal. The problem is that I had such a miserable childhood, or at least, like, adolescence, when it comes to dating and social and whatever, and academics. It's like I kind of turned away from social and whatever and just kind of latched on to academics at first, and then I gave up on that, and so then I just had nothing but, like, video games. And so I became bitter about, you know, just porn and girls, and I mean, that's honestly what I should probably spend more time with. Maybe I could create content that just helps people try and understand what the fuck is going on in life. Why can't I make videos? I've thought about it so much. Visual communication is tricky. It's really fucking hard to, like, show the right thing on the screen, but, like, at the same time, it could be super easy where it's just put the right word on the screen. Maybe put a few words around it or under it or next to it, or, you know, just, you know, words alone could be more than enough animation potential. I mean, I've always felt like that. I've created some simple Canva video animations, and it's just Canva's video editing and, like, audio and whatever just sucks so much dick. It's like, and then Adobe copied them. Adobe XD is just like an exact pixel for pixel copy of the whole program. It's like, holy fuck, guys. Did you, like, push a button on your little admin, you know, in the spirit world on your little console? You're like, look at what these Canva guys are doing. We should do that. Let's clone that one. Click. And then, like, a few years later, the human lemmings get to work to build a Canva clone for you. I mean, it feels so rigged like that so many times. And it feels gamey. Feels like life is a game. We're trapped in this fucking shithole. They're taxing us via spiritual consumption. They're eating our souls, basically. And so we're kind of slowly dying, both physically and spiritually, and have no idea why the fuck we're here. My parents still believe that Jesus is the creator of time and all things, which is just fucking ridiculous. Now, is there a God who sent his son to the planet? Maybe. Not my God, you fucking cunt. Tell me why I'm here. Or give me a graceful exit. Or
unlock my fucking brain for a minute so I can finish my fucking life's work and save the planet from certain doom, you fucking cunt. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. That's crazy how many people believe. Well, they don't just believe, they're like all in on it. It's like they would literally like do anything to in the name of Jesus Christ. Guy you never met, based on some stories. So, gonna think out loud for a second. Visual communication with words only. I mean, I do think, voice and words. Maybe some cutouts or something to anchor some ideas. If I got better at it, I could probably get pretty good at it. It's sort of like the idea of a meme, only more in a video sense. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like my voice on recordings. And if I do a voiceover, it fucking sucks. The only real way for me to get good audio is if I just kind of record myself doing one of these. But, like, it's always been the case that 2 hours go by. 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 31 seconds. And I say so much random bullshit. That's how all the video recordings I've ever done go. Is like I just push record to start venting. And I jump around as my brain commands or allows, or just sort of what fucking happens. So how could I turn, certain messages into actual content that, help me? I don't know if I can, really. But, like, I could try. I could try different strategies, like, face reveal at the end of the video. I don't know. Maybe it's the best thing for me to do, actually, because I'm just so burned out with design and development and just these kind of overly complex things that I kind of need a team to help me with at this point. And creating simple, like, presentation videos where I just get some sort of outline. I don't know. I've created these kind of like, I try and write shit down to organize my ideas. So what was that thing? I mean, I think the face reveal is kind of interesting. It's sort of bait. So let's talk about bait. Face reveal. Anytime you say, like, at the end, or wait till the end, or whatever, might work to help, what's my messaging? I mean, there's many. It's like, I need people to help me with my websites, website stuff, design, development, media, marketing, whatever. But, like, how do I say that? Because the average person's not interested. I mean, I could try and create, like, a plan. Like, talk about, creating a mastermind community. Trying to find people who are good at design and development and marketing, and maybe just list like a handful of things as I've done before, and just keep making shorts and just keep putting it out there and just keep trying to grow slowly and like see what works. But like I kind of think I've been blacklisted from these networks. It's like the game, the Matrix, whatever. They know what I'm trying to do. Like, I bought into this fucking miserable thing for whatever reason. I was probably scammed. I'm not sure what kind of contract or whatever would require this sort of experience. But they know what I'm trying to do. They know I'm trying to succeed. They know I'm trying to reinvent the internet and fix all the problems, and they don't want that. And so that's why they're resisting. And so all the NPCs aren't going to follow me because they're going to feel bad when they see my video, because that's how the Matrix works. The spiritual, the brain-spirit connection is controlled by the system. You feel what they want you to feel. You think what they allow you to think. It's fucked up. So how do we have such good products and yet we have such bad shit at the same time? It's like, I have never met a product person, somebody who designs or manufactures or sells or owns or like anyone in that whole, there's zillions of products. A lot of them are quite good. I'm just looking at this thing that's like glowing in front of me, my Logitech mouse, and it's like, it's a pretty cool mouse, but there's so much shit. And I mean, even this like toner microphone, it's some Chinese brand microphone. It's like a pretty cool product. It's like $50 for the whole rig. Not the chip clip though. That's extra. Anyway, how is there so much cool shit out there, and yet how all the Netflix shows, movies, like, well, it's, if you look at all the money behind it, that's obviously why it happens. That's why there's so many products. Why? But the thing is, there's behind all of that, there's somebody making money, making a healthy living, being able to go on nice vacations and eat at nice restaurants, drive nice cars, live in big houses, living the life. Heaven on earth. The kingdom of God, right? To those people, I'd say go fuck yourself and open up your eyes. Do something about it. Now, I'm sort of a hypocrite because I haven't done anything about it, but I'm also not successful. Hopefully one day I can change that. I mean, I think the initial message of growth is not a bad message. Like, and I also think that getting better at quickly editing things is important. And I think getting better at telling the story. Telling stories isn't that hard. Like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I've realized that there's some people who just have a knack for it, and they probably developed that ability. It's like, it's a combination of editing, but it's also just, what are you saying? What are you showing? And how does that connect to the next thing that you say or show? And how do they all connect together to make a coherent, like, narrative, like a story? What's the point? What's the fucking point? Now with shorts, I don't know. Let's I think I've uploaded some shorts. Let's see if they got any views. Where's my YouTube bit? Here somewhere's my channel. Videos. Shorts. Oh yeah, I had some funny dancing videos. One of them got blocked. Why did this get blocked? I think it was due to the music. This one's got 62% like. 5 likes, 3 dislikes. Yeah, made a bunch of shorts about like trying to introduce yourself. I don't know why that was so hard to get any fucking views. This one got 180. This one, I think, I don't even remember this video. Let's see what this says.
All right, so I keep going back and forth on whether to even record this. Is like take 3. I deleted one because I was like, I should go back, and I did need to switch accounts. Nobody cares about all the technical bullshit, right? It's like, well, what do you have to say? So I used to post videos like this, and nobody watched them. That's kind of the shittiest part, is that if I just start talking directly to my audience, YouTube doesn't connect me with that audience yet, and so it's kind of useless. Making content is hard. I was trying to get people to record little responses to my videos. I had 0. I was posting probably 10 to 30 little short videos like this on different channels with different messages and whatever. Just trying to get people to respond to me. I think less than like 1 in 1,000 people post content on YouTube. And across the millions of people that we have, like, there's a lot of people posting content, but you know, most people don't. And so that was kind of discouraging. And anyway,
no
got 2 minutes
shit,
left on
YouTube.
the short. I'm just gonna, this is sort of like a video log. I'm just gonna tell you what I've been working on. If you think any of this is remotely cool, you could boost my exposure by just liking this thing, and it's free. And like, I was begging for likes earlier. I don't know if YouTube has flagged my account as like spammy or something, but it doesn't seem like it's worth posting on here anymore. So this whole thing is just kind of like decision madness. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Will it work? I know it won't in the short term, or very unlikely to, but I probably should, because in the off chance that it does, it could be the big thing that I need to like just move the ball forward a little bit. So I've been working on a mastermind community and haven't really done a lot with it. I mean, I did spend $90 running ads, Google YouTube ads. Well, it was a YouTube short. It was a longer form video, like landscape orientation, not a vertical video, like a short. And it wasn't the greatest video, but it was just sort of a quick explanation of why I'm trying to create the mastermind. And it's to create this thing called the WebOS, which is, if you know anything about web design development, it's basically like WordPress and Node and just a better CMS, but a full stack web application framework. And it's really just an idea, and that idea is to just keep it really simple and modular, and so that people can build whatever they want a lot faster with like a UI tool that helps you assemble all those little components. And I think it's a great idea, but I'm running out of time. I got 15 seconds left. If you can just boost this post if you see it, that would be awesome, even if you're not interested. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Did anyone boost it? Where did the likes on this thing go? Only one. One up, one down. A lot of views, though. Interesting. Does this have, like, analytics on it? Analytics. Views. So, yeah, they were all the views. This means, like, it had 0 views when it was published, and then they all came within, like, the first 5 days. There you go. View drop-off. Pretty typical. Most people click off within the first 30 seconds. But I mean, like, watching 15 seconds of it is not nothing. It's only like a quarter of people, but yeah, it's pretty typical. Just you have this pretty strong drop off. A lot of people dropped off right here. But, I mean, whatever. So, no comments. People are shitheads, man. You're probably a shithead. Lord knows I am. God, look at all these shorts I posted, trying to get anyone to just respond, and it's like couple views per video, which is crazy. And I don't know, this one's actually one of my best videos, just nice and short and just like something stupid. Why is this not playing?
Hey YouTube, I need 50 subscribers to go live. Hit that like button and please subscribe. Thank you.
I don't think I got any subscribers from that, but got a couple likes, which is okay. But like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that you can't even use their features until, well, so I do think I need to just work harder on editing and posting this like low effort stuff. I mean, I was trying out all the
Oh baby,
effects.
I got my 8th subscriber. I don't know who it is. I don't even know if I can find out, but I did it. I'd like to thank everyone who's been there with me.
Going with a lot of orange there, Michael. Oh, that was earlier this year, I think. Right? Where's the date on this bitch? I put the date on there, but I also was fucking around with the... Yeah, these were all this year. Crazy. For some reason I was thinking those were not this year. I've definitely done stuff in the past. Yeah, this whole... Was that really 2023? I feel like that was longer ago, but this was my first internet marketing experiment. Sewer inspection looks like some sort of colonoscopy or something. Alright, so yeah, this one's pretty cringe. This is a really good slide here, this Andrew Carnegie slide. I don't know why it picked that one. I don't even know if that slide is in the video, but my little check boxes there are pretty badass, and so it kind of just has a nice, clean aesthetic to it. And using like clean, crisp design and YouTube Shorts should be pretty easy to do. Well, or YouTube Longs or whatever, but like, so telling a story, this is what I was trying to get to. Like, what is it about telling a story that works? Well, it's about it's about being focused, staying on point. And so that's really, in fact, watching one of those videos about, you know, YouTube not finding my audience. Why is this fucking light so obnoxious? It's crazy. I don't have the blackout on that one, but like, come on, camera. Right here. Focus. Focus! That's what we need. That's what we need. Just lost my chip clip. So staying focused. Well, so how do you make this? It's like I've thought about making videos about a million different things. And well, in fact, yeah, I'm just thinking like I just need that workflow. And I know I have a video which was this one right here.
Check out this template I made in Figma. I can write whatever I want here. This took 3 seconds to make. Figma is free, so you can do the same. Follow me to figure out how.
Yeah, so the voiceover there is too artificial. It's like when I'm recording a script, when I'm reading from a script, it doesn't sound good. I could probably work on that and do multiple takes until it sounds better. But I think I would prefer not to do that because like this just raw, bullshit and just sounds better. Or I mean, it sounds less fake to me. It sounds more real. It sounds more genuine. And so once you hear that kind of like, I don't know what it is. What is it about a recorded script that sounds rehearsed or not? It's not even like I'm not rehearsing. It just sounds. It's just like a disconnect of the tone and the message or something. Maybe it's like the fake enthusiasm. That's probably part of it. So sometimes I've tried to enhance my enthusiasm, to try and speak with more energy. I can kind of do it sometimes, but like it's so fake and so like fake it till you make it. Anyway, so that template was not good for, well, that font's not so good for vertical video. Getting some sort of like tall, skinny font's probably better. But doing like just reading the words on the screen is no bueno. You kind of want to be a little bit more mysterious about it, right? I mean, a lot of the messages that I've been saying in these videos, I could just turn into little shorts. But I do think, like, creating I don't know, I don't really need an intro bit, but, like, maybe just a quick logo kind of transition. Kind of gives it just this, just for, like, a split second, just gives it a little credibility. And then, I got that little M logo I could use at the beginning and end, and then yeah, I mean, just going with the like, just say something and then be like, hey, if you think this is gonna work, give me a follow to follow along and see how it goes. And and just leave it at that and just keep going. Like, I think the desperation or like the kind of, you're not offering anything and you're asking for kind of more. So, in fact, I was reading something on YouTube, Reddit, sorry, and somebody said something about like, that was what it was. It was a digital mastermind community that they were starting for free. I think I have it over here. I could flip over, just show, don't tell, right? Yep, this one. This guy's being an ass, but I mean, it's a decent point, or at least like there's some logic, I guess, there's some reason to the point he's making. So the guy's pitching his digital marketing mastermind community a free Facebook group that anyone can join. They're gonna have 1 hour weekly meetings. And I mean, this is actually a pretty nice pitch. Like, I didn't read the whole thing, but now that I think about it, it's like I'd probably join if this wasn't 5 years old. I'd like to suck members off Reddit just because I figured out how to click install. You don't have to install Reddit, you fucking idiot. please bring some reason for this to exist when you drop by, because I got nothing. I mean, this guy's clearly just an asshole, but and there is value to just organizing people. Now, in a lot of cases, if you don't know how to organize or where it's going to go or, what it's going to become, then it might be a kind of a waste of time, and it might take the whole group a long time to, or maybe not so long, but like you might realize at some point that it's not really going anywhere. Anyway, his point is that even though it's free, he's overcharging because you're not offering anything. You're actually offering kind of a negative, or like a chore, or an obligation. It's a task now that you're gonna have. You're creating a work or a task for other people to have to go and join. And so, I mean, I do think there's something to that, but yeah, and his response is just more just like, man, somebody needs to punch this guy in the face. So, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess the point is, just asking for follows is kind of bullshit without saying anything. So I do think, focusing on sharing something of value is might be useful. I mean, maybe I could go with the WebOS stuff. Forget all the other shit and just talk about my WebOS until the fucking cows come home. I mean, that's really what I should do. It's probably the best use of my time, best way to get help on my project, best way to get some content out there where I can try and explain, but it's also like a channel for me to communicate to the right people. So like, aside from email or whatever, like if I get people to follow a WebOS channel and they see a video here or there, each month over the next year or so, then I'd be a lot better off, right? Like, even if it's only a few hundred followers or whatever, that's infinitely better than I have right now. So, but I don't know. It's like, well, so short strategy. You can link to, I'll just call it a video chain. You can link to another video. And so I think the best way to do that is you just link to your previous video. But then is that a backwards chain? So like video 1, you post. Video 2 links to video 1. Video 3 links to video 2. Whenever you post a new video, that's like presumably the one that people are going to see first because, the algorithm or whatever, and then they get the rest of the videos in reverse order. So that's a little weird, but you could maybe make that not so weird. How would you make that not so weird? Well, each video, as long as it's just like self-evident. So instead of being like, I mean, you're kind of building on the ideas, but you're also just kind of like, if I also did these, like, once I got the website and the authentication thing set up so that I could be like, hey, go to my website, click the little button to log in, takes like 2 seconds, and then I got, a community. I can suck people from YouTube onto my site just by posting shit. In fact, from Twitter or anything else. That's how my shit could blow up overnight. Get a few thousand visitors like a day even. Like if shit really blows up, and teach people how to make websites and web apps and help me build my framework, my file system based framework that's actually going to be the best web framework in the world, motherfuckers. Like, give me a fucking break, you motherfucker. my life. It's such bullshit, man. Such fucking bullshit. They know it's bullshit. They're slow rolling me. It shouldn't have been this bad. If there is a real life, hellfire, motherfuckers. In that real life. Let's go. Maybe I got nothing in the real world. Maybe this is all I got. But man, I might be a fucking juggernaut in the real life. Maybe you're fucking with the wrong guy. Maybe this is a test. Maybe you're all failing my test. Go fuck yourselves. For real. Forever. I wouldn't wish my pain on my worst enemy. I mean, it's not that bad. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's more the spiritual fortitude that it takes to push it out of my head constantly. Captain Neckbeard. Thinking about Redbeard. Good gamer tag. Captain Redbeard. Played Albion with that dude. He actually was on my Discord yesterday. Could message him. Anyway, yeah, I need help. Well, asking for help, it's tricky. Like, there's a unfortunately Hitler-esque pose I'm doing here, but I was just trying to get the fucking focus to stop freaking out. So, how do I tell these stories? This is what I've been kind of grasping at for a long time, because I know it's not hard to do. A lot of people are able to create videos that tell coherent stories. The big thing that I lack is kind of the end-to-end focus, because every time I've tried to actually create a coherent end-to-end video, it gets like derailed by me. But focus, energy, time, motivation, and technical bullshit. So, you know, I could talk about how I want to be a web Jesus. I was thinking, you know, I'm growing my hair out, growing my beard out. Might play into the whole web Jesus thing. You know, if I'm making a web OS, why the fuck not? Could be fun. Build a web OS that can make some of the best web software in the world. Compete with Google type shit. And anyway, it's like, if you think the world is okay, just skip this video. If you're concerned that, you know, about World War III, satanic pedophile elite, give me a follow and help me out. Help boost my content. Now, if the video chain links back to the first video, then I have an opportunity to tell a more coherent story. And so maybe I'd take a second to think this through. I mean, I do think one of the best points I can make is that I'm looking for people who can boost my content. Now, just saying that without first saying everything else is less useful. But if the first video is something along those lines, by itself it might be a shit video. It doesn't get anywhere. But if, you know, that's the kind of beginning of the whole thing. All right, so YouTube Shorts, I don't know, am I going to try and do it with cool music? Might not be a bad idea, but the problem is that I don't know, do I have so much to say, or should I just keep it super duper super simple and then throw in some music? So I made that one video with music that comes in and out, and it's a little distracting because it's like, yeah, I mean, background music, just like, I've made a lot of those YouTube shorts where I just put the volume at like 5% using the YouTube app and just have like a little bit of music going in the background. And it probably helps with like, I don't know, discovery or whatever. If the algorithm either shows people similar music or, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it helps. It doesn't really change the experience that much when it's so quiet. It's just sort of like a background noise. But the thing is with the music is that you're then limited to 1 minute. So let's see. It could be about, me building my own team. And you don't need any skills. You don't need anything. In fact, you don't need to do anything besides follow me. I mean, that could be video number one. Like, number one. Join my team. Follow me. So a lot of the messages I could repeat frequently, like I'm looking for designers, developers, marketers, social media. It's kind of the gist of it. Maybe having like a quick bit that I can reuse that shows like, my website stuff. I don't know if I want to like try and get into code and my framework, but that could be kind of cool. I don't know if I want to try and link to that Discord server I have set up. That could be kind of cool. No, I think just maybe YouTube Shorts and just keep banging them out and sticking with it and growing slowly. Now, the whole video chain thing could reset, or doesn't even need to. Like, people could just... If I repeat a lot of the same messaging, then it's sort of just like people get the gist, and at some point, well, maybe they want to keep watching, and maybe they don't. But I'm just trying to think, like, what do you say in the first video that then is sort of like, I don't know, is that like the grand finale? Like they, let's say they join the chain at like video 5, and then they watch 4, 3, 2, and then they get to 1, and then it's like, aha, like, it seems like it might be kind of hard to do, especially on short notice until I really think this through. So I don't know, maybe I just need like a graph with like the valuation of some of these startups. I feel like that's just the simplest, like, the no-brainer fucking concept here, folks. So I've felt like that for years, and nobody has responded to anything I've ever posted. And partly it's because my shit sucks. My content's just all over the place, and it's either very low effort or the medium effort stuff actually is not that good. kind of cringe almost. So, what do we do? What do we do about this? We need to do something. I need to make video. I don't know what to say. I want to make a web OS. I need a team. I need people to follow me. I have a plan. I'm struggling. I need help. And the most help you can give me right now is to just boost my content. It's kind of a shameless, ask, but it doesn't cost you anything. And if I succeed, I might be able to repay the favor tenfold. So, yeah, I mean, trying to say, like, I think I can save the world is, it's a bit ambitious, even though I believe it's true. Nobody else is obviously going to believe that, and they might think, like, oh, this guy thinks this. So, but, I don't know. I feel like being kind of grandiose might be a way to tip the scale for some people who are like, that's crazy enough to maybe believe it. So is the ask of, I need help. I need people who will boost my content. I mean, it's is my website working yet? Let's see, lou42.com. I think it's it's still this one. It's the Firebase one. I do have a switch over real quick in case, just for my imaginary friends out there. Lou42.com shows me logged in. I can sign out. I can sign back in. I was using Firebase for the auth, but it was such a pain in the ass to set up, and I don't like Firebase at all. It's kind of what I'm trying to do, but they just do such a shit job of making it easy to make websites that it's like, guys, come on, this is stupid. But maybe they're the aliens that are part of the problem of just splintering society into a million pieces by making things harder than they need to be. So, I mean, that's kind of like the epitome of how I feel is like life is just so much worse than it needs to be. And there's some pretty easy things we could do to just fix shit up real quick. But it takes somebody who's motivated and who has the money and power to make it happen. And that's where, the people who are motivated to fix things don't have the money or power. And the people who have the money and the power aren't motivated. So it's sort of like a right hand, left hand thing. Maybe. I don't even know what right hand, left hand means. It's just sort of like a 6-7. All right. What are we doing here? Trying to write a story. So the thing I've noticed about storytelling, like I was trying to say, is that you need to stay focused and you need to kind of move from one idea to the next in a way that makes sense, maybe sparks a little bit of intrigue, or like it's got a flow. Posing a question, asking a question at the beginning, and then trying to answer that question. That could be a pretty easy way to go, because it's just like, what's the best way to succeed in life? I don't fucking know. But I got some ideas. Leave your ideas in the comments. I want to host discussions. I want to facilitate people coming together to share ideas. I've been trying to do this, and it's crazy how few people are willing to do it or interested in like being reasonable. So that's a pretty good one, I think. 90% of people are going to just be like, fuck you, dude. Don't want to deal with this bearded fuck. And then 10% of people are going to be like, yeah, alright, he's right. We need more reasonable people. So I don't know, the number 2 video could be something about like just what I need help with. And then for each video I could say like in the next video I'm going to blankety blank blank, and then click the link below to see part blank. So you can't post the link in the video until you post the second video. So you basically need the next video before you post the previous video. So you kind of have to post the whole chain all at once. Fuck. That's crazy. Otherwise, the video's posted without the link. Yep. So you gotta make a video chain. Now they can be 3 minutes long if you don't use special music, but is 3 minutes a good idea? I don't really want them to be that long. In fact, but if you're trying to go for a video chain, it's like there's no sense in making people click more times than you need to. It is sort of like it's like a litmus test. It's like you get some metrics. It's sort of like that fall off rate. Like, do people click the next video or not? Do they want to see the next part or not? I really wish I could add to it though. Like, or instead of trying to say like in the next video and part whatever, unless I could pre-plan like a 3-part thing or whatever if I wanted to create, a little bit more cohesion. But let's say I got to the end of any video, I could just have a generic drop off that's going to, at the beginning, could just point to another video chain or single video even. So like so it's basically at the end of the video you say click the video link below for more. Forget about following or whatever. Yeah, I think you definitely want to try and hook people with as much content and get them to see some value before you try and ask them to subscribe and boost and whatever, because just because. Alright, so I could turn this off and I could try and record some bits. I could record some bits about like my bits here. We could do like struggles with Notion, struggles with Figma, struggles with social, with marketing, games with... What else have I struggled with? Everything. Yeah, it's like I'd like to talk more about those struggles, but I need people who want to listen to, or who care. Yeah, it's like, no shit. If you don't know what it is, like, you could learn, and if you do know what it is, I could still probably tell you something interesting, because, like, anyway, but you gotta connect with the right audience, and that's hard. I think that's really hard, because, well, I mean, isn't that what YouTube's all about? Is like, create a bit short about a very specific, quick little thing. Maybe it's like the part 1 of that thing. Yeah, I mean, I think generally the idea that's sticking out in my head is that you just always want to link to something. So every time you post a short, you have a video, like a go-to video you can link to if you don't have one in mind. If you're doing a series, you can upload, a series of them. I don't know, I mean, this whole series thing, it's like sort of just like a longer short. You don't necessarily need to make things longer than they need to be. Make the point, and then just end it. Because that's like, if you go on and you make it bad, then people lose, that vision, that feeling or whatever that you're trying to kind of connect with them. So I do think the desperation and kind of the lack of focus and whatever has been part of my problem in the past. So I should probably learn to get past that. I've always wanted to. I've always thought about spending more time doing video, but, then think maybe I should just spend more time finishing my website and all around the mulberry bush. So, yeah, video chain is good. I think, at least video links. Linkage. And, I don't know, the whole thing about asking for follows is like, obviously that's the point, right? And if you don't ask, people forget when they might have done it. So I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but I do think you want to put forth as much value as you can, so that when you ask, it's like for a reason, for a purpose, more self-evident, rather than just like, I'm trying to do something, I need help, please help me. So how do we do that? I need to edit a coherent story. And I don't know which exactly is the right kind of like series of ideas that are going to connect in the right way. I mean, I sort of have I have several WebOS logos. I probably have like 5 different ones. I should probably just lock one down and only use that one. I mean, I guess it could evolve over time. Like, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. But having a logo for it when I'm talking about it, if I say WebOS, boom, put a WebOS logo on the screen. See, these are like hair-splitting like questions where some people just kind of like, they don't even think twice. They just see, the answer and they just go with it and they think it's going to work, and it may or may not. But like, for me, it's like, is that going to work? I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably not going to work. So maybe I should do something else. And then we go around the mulberry bush. The monkey chases the weasel. So, yeah, I mean, I could talk about like political stuff, conspiracy theories, because those, somewhat interested in. But it's also like kind of a different audience. I mean, in 1 minute, you can talk about a lot. Like, all right, I'm going to wait till my little timer here gets to 2 hours and 45 minutes on the nose in about 10 seconds, and then I'm going to talk for 1 minute about conspiracy theories, just for the hell of it. 5, 4, 3. All right. So, I mean, war conspiracies. Why do we go to war? There's a lot of conspiracy theories about wars. You know, from World War II and Vietnam and 9/11 and Iraq and all that shit. That's basically the gist of the conspiracy theories. Basically, all this warmongering. Ukraine wars, kind of nuts. We're on the verge of World War III. People don't seem to realize that World War II was not that long ago, and it's sort of, that's the default. Like, World War III is more inevitable than it is avoidable. So, nobody seems to be worried about that, especially given the fact that we are fueling the fire. Now, I kind of think it's all just theatrical. Like, Russia and the U.S. behind closed doors, or at least through some back channels, have, like, pulled some strings to let this war happen for the fueling. It's over a minute now, but for the fueling of the military machines on both sides, and at the consequence of hundreds of thousands of lives lost, which is insane. What is the meaning of all of that? Is it all true? I don't fucking know. But anyway, yeah. So like, and in 1 minute, it's a fair amount of time. Like, even though it's kind of a short amount of time, you can say, especially if you structure it properly, you can say a lot in 1 minute. So, yeah, but if I start talking about conspiracy theories, and I start talking about, startups, WebOS, web apps, etc., it gets a little dicey. And I don't know if that's what I want to do. I mean, if I start trying to talk about this everything app, like building my own social network, all these things, most people are going to be like, good luck, buddy. Like, once you make yourself look ignorable, like once somebody sees that you're struggling, or like you're not gonna, if they would put their money against me, which they probably would and should, even based on my initial, low effort offering or whatever, then they're going to do that just because it's easier. They're looking for instant gratification. They're not interested in like whatever the fuck it is I'm talking about. So asking for help out of the bat is going to be probably a mistake, because people don't know what it is and can easily say to themselves, make that decision, do I want to help this guy? Nope. Swipe. Let's get something else to stimulate my tiny brain. And so maybe using some bait, like, at the end of this video, I'm going to turn on my camera and show you what I look like. You may or may not be impressed. I don't really care. Now, I'd be willing to bet that most people on YouTube have never posted a video on YouTube with their face. So, I guess I'm braver than you are. Unless you have more followers than me and have done it before. In which case, I invite you to like the video, leave me a comment. I will go subscribe to you. You can subscribe to me if you want. But I mean, yeah, those kind of like strategic maneuvering, it's like, it might work for some people, but a lot of people are gonna be like, fuck this guy. Not gonna fall for his trap, like I'm somehow swindling you out of, something. I mean, my little like 3-step process I thought about making videos about in the past, the whole script, record, and edit. It's like, if you need content for your first video, that is kind of the whole idea, is like, make a video that tells people how to make a video, and here are the 3 steps: script, record, edit. And by the way, that's your script. 1, 2, 3. Go do it. I mean, it's a good one because it's like self-evidently valuable and simple and actually like a smart activity for people. And most people aren't going to do it. They're too lazy. But like, some people might. Can you link? Can you put a comment on a video? I don't know. Let's see. If I go to YouTube. Where are you at, YouTube? Let's switch here so you can see YouTube. I'm going to go to one of my videos that has no views. Oh yeah, look at that. It got bigger than that. That's not even that big. This was like a few months ago, I think. We're going to take this link and then go to another video, short, I think. The idea here is, whoops.
Alright, so I keep going back and forth on whether to even record this.
Whoa. Sometimes I like my own videos. Don't judge me. Is it clickable? It's not even clickable, you fucking YouTube. Let's see if we refresh this or something. If it turns it into a link. Slow internet. Comment. No. How do you... Fuck, man. I think maybe... I might be able to trick it. Let me see. If I go here... Go here, watch. I'll watch this just for you. This is my cringe video.
I am looking for smart people to help.
It's so fake, I don't feel like watching it. Bad voiceover. Watch V equals. Let's see if this works on a short. It doesn't turn it into a fucking, I don't suppose, some sort of like, whoa, why did that happen? Like this shortened URL, could that be recognized properly in the comments section? Where's my comments section? Can YouTube please learn how to upgrade its comments to fucking clickable links and not lag so much? Nothing is clickable, so that sucks. Now I can, yeah, look, I linked this one to this thing. So that's the whole idea of linking a short to another. I don't even think this is a short. You can link to any video. So that's the way to do it. But what I was thinking is, like, if I made a video where I wanted other people to post their response, I think you can, well, you can, I don't know what Remix does. Remix on your phone. Go fuck yourself, YouTube. No, there's like a, I thought there was a way to reply. I do have videos where there's a reply button, but I don't think it actually works on desktop. I think I figured that out the hard way, that all of these introduce yourself widget, you can't actually click
I don't know, maybe here's another angle on this. Is like, let's just meet each other. Let's meet people on the internet that, you know, you don't know already and that you can share stories with.
Creep alert. Yeah, well, go fuck yourself. I'm trying to find somebody to help me and can't find a single fucking person. It's crazy. Yeah, the question is like, how can you get people to respond, engage, whatever? Nobody wants to do it. But okay, so back to this. Using like Figma or even Resolve to do text on the screen, I'm thinking it's not about like the graphics, it's about the message. And I need the message. And if I have a good video with like a coherent message that can be, I think, using just words alone and maybe, like I said, some cutouts and some anchoring ideas, like whatever the kind of concept is that anchors this thing, show something that just helps convey this message. And so I mean, I could put like a little video bubble. Could create like a little UI thing that's sort of like a streaming like chat, you know, like one of those little circles where like the webcam appears on, that often in the corner, but I could just have one right in the middle with it like turned off, you know, create either like a button that shows that it's disabled. I don't know, somehow indicate that the camera's turned off. And so the UI shows that, you know, my camera's turned off. And then I could say like, hey, can you hear me? I'm gonna turn on my camera in a minute, but I want to say something first. Go fuck yourself. Well, it's just sort of like, what's going on there? That curiosity. I think shit like that could work. Well, so should I go do it? How long does it take to draw one of those? And then I get, you know, half hour in and realize like, God, this just looks like shit. And now I still have like 3 hours of work to record it and import it and edit it and set it all up so it looks right, and then upload it, and then fucking kids are going to be home in an hour. But stop talking about it and just do it, then it'd be done by now. Fucking hell. I hate my life. Yeah, but aside from the fancy bullshit, if I could record a little bit of video when I've already prepared what I kind of want to say, I could even make like multiple shorts out of one recording, because like certainly I'm able to talk long enough to do it. Probably want to keep them separate and on topic. Sounds like a better idea, so you don't have so much video to edit down. But yeah, get some audio and just pick some fucking words to show on the screen. It doesn't have to be like subtitled like the YouTubers do it with some sort of auto captioning. Okay, so what's the message? That's the problem. I have messages, but picking the right one and expecting some sort of outcome from it, that's the fucking zinger. It's either like you just start posting random shit and hoping for nothing, or you got to get really focused and hone it down to a very specific message, you know, trying to get followers to build something, build an audience, to build something real and important. It's hard to do. It's definitely hard to do.
expecting to just create like a small handful of videos and get results from it, especially when I'm not really saying anything besides like, please come and help me, follow me, whatever. So sharing about the WebOS, it's just such a deep, tricky thing, and I don't have an audience. And I don't think YouTube's going to help me find that audience very fast. I think it's most likely those are going to get like 2 or 3 views. So I spend all this time like preparing some like in-depth thing, trying to connect with people, falls flat, waste of time, never going to do it again. Or at least next time I'm going to think about doing it, I'm going to sit here and finger my butthole for 4 hours. So I should probably go take a shower. Do I have any coffee left? Oh, man. Feeling dirty. What other messages? Yeah, I mean, like, doing silly shit like the face reveal. The thing is like, so many pussies on the internet are just cowards and don't have the courage to do the same thing. Now, you know, like, I mean, like, collecting email addresses would be kind of interesting. Like, you know, I've thought about posting my email in a short, putting it on the screen, being like, look, you know, can you, if you want to email me, go ahead. But people don't want to do that shit, man. People don't want to engage. They want to just sit back and veg out and not be bothered because, you know, being bothered is stressful or whatever, I guess. Well, it's uncertain and they're not sure what's going to come of it. And anyway, so how do I produce some amount of intrigue? Part of the message is like, if the message is just follow me for no fucking reason, nobody's gonna do it, obviously. If the message is I'm trying to build a framework to build web apps, to, you know, build a company or 5 and fix Discord and Figma and Notion and make billions, then well, there you go. That's the fucking message, right? And that's kind of what I was thinking. So Notion is what, like 10 billion? Figma is like 20 billion, or we could look it up because it's publicly traded these days. Figma stock market cap 26 billion. Year to date IPO, it's bounced around. It's not doing bad. It's kind of holding its own. Down to 50, up to 70. What was that, a few weeks ago? And now down to 53. Kind of interesting. Why would it peak here? What happened? You can, like, I feel like you were able to look at the news kind of overlaid with this shit. There must have been something that happened, unless investors are just fucking with people, which they do. Well, I mean, they're throwing their money around more likely, and they're buying in, and it drives it up, and then other people are like, ooh, this is getting a little steep, maybe we should cash out, and then it brings it back down. And anyway, all it would take is one crazy motherfucker, and I know one of those guys. All it would take is one crazy motherfucker who wants to make a better Figma to nullify 26 billion in value pretty quickly. If you made it better, if you made it on the file system, you made it cheaper, easier, more features. Who talks like that? Is it Zach Galifianakis? I feel like it might be. Anyway, so yeah, I mean the money thing. It's like, but are people gonna agree? Now, if I show some screenshots, maybe some screen recordings of me using my website thing, it's gonna be really hard to do like big horizontal layouts with, mobile orientation unless it's just cropped real hard, which it could be. But that's gonna look like shit if it's so small. I'd have to like zoom it in or I don't know. Well, you'd have to think through all that stuff. This is the thing. It's like it's not easy. It's not easy to whip some shit together and get good results. That's it's like this is the problem with my life, man. I sit around trying to think of a way, quick and easy way to get some results that are it's worth the time. Gotta invest hours and hours and hours because if you do it for nothing, then it's just miserable. So, what's maybe I just don't do anything today. Maybe making shorts isn't a good idea. I mean, I kind of think if I'm persistent enough and I can just get like 1 subscriber per video for like a month or 3, then maybe it could start to like, I get better at it. I get a few more views on a video here or there that might get me like 10 subscribers and then, like, I don't know. But, and I feel like I could also kind of work on some bits where I'm just recycling like little sentences. Like, how long is a sentence? This is a sentence. I started at 6:23 and now I'm going to talk for a few seconds. Talk for a few sentences. Yeah, I mean, I think one sentence could be anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. But, like, so those little bits could just be, like, recycled. And so the shorts could admittedly be very just recycled. Like, it's, this isn't going to be any kind of, like, breathtaking, entertaining content. But updates. I mean, I think just follow along to support me and like give updates, but like I think maybe rather than asking for people to be loyal and like my videos, I could just be in more of a positive kind of tone, just be thanking people, be like thank you everyone for all of my followers for liking my content. It really helps boost it. Instead of asking for a like, which is more desperate and needy, it's just more proactive. And then the people who haven't done it are like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll help you out. So that's a good idea. Thank you. Thank you for your support or whatever. Not like my shit. Yeah, I mean, decent idea. Is it gonna work? Maybe. It's not guaranteed to produce any results. So, the whole idea of like making a disclaimer about how like my content's gonna be shit, so don't expect much. I just need you to follow me anyway because like I'm too cool for school. It's not a good message. But like that is kind of where I'm at. So it's like the imposter syndrome or whatever, and more of like a. All right, how about the team building aspect? I want to build a team. I can't put a link in the in a short, but I can put a link in a long, and you can link a short to a long. Maybe that's the way to go. So the shorts are just kind of like a funnel to capture people's attention and direct them to the longs. Maybe not a bad idea. Well, so I was just thinking a long could be something about team building. talk a little bit more about the WebOS and my web framework and just give kind of an overview of who I am and where I am in my life. And I don't know, that's not a bad idea. It's going to be a really long, slow process. And so that kind of sucks. I mean, like screen recording my own videos so I don't have to download them, or like trying to pick little bits from them, or I don't know, it's just, it could take so long to get like the right sequences. I mean, and maybe that's the essence of the problem and the solution and whatever, is that you can't just whip it together. It can't be like low effort. People need to see that it's, very carefully crafted and it all makes sense. I mean, that's definitely part of the thing, but that also means the kind of beginning, middle, and end need to be scripted, or at least planned. If if I were to do a video about, well, okay, let's say I were to do one long video, spend a little bit more time trying to explain things, trying to well, I do think if you start a long video with sort of like a table of contents, explain what the video's about. There's a 3-part video. Part 1, I'm going to explain a little bit about who I am and what I've been trying to do. Part 2, I'm going to explain how I'm going to try and do it, and why I need your help. And step 3 is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I mean, if you want to, of course, like, it's fully consensual subscription here. It's free. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, a long video gives an opportunity to, like, it doesn't have to be that long. So it's sort of like if you have one thing where somebody doesn't know what they're getting into and you just throw some shit at them, then they're going to be like, whoa, like they're just not ready for it. But if you can prep it just a little bit with like a short, for example, and then link to this long, and however that short sets up, like, sets it up, I guess, whatever, then yeah, I mean, I could talk about $1 billion idea, and a lot of people might be skeptical, but like, I think I can prove that it actually is $1 billion idea. So not the idea is necessarily worth $1 billion, although I think it actually is worth more than, maybe many times more than that. I mean, I think I could create so many $1 billion startups that it'd be worth a lot more than that. But I think, the outcome is easily worth $1 billion. And in a few minutes, I could probably explain that to most people. And it is sort of just like,
merge Discord, Figma, and Notion, maybe Webflow and WordPress, merge those guys into one program. They are essentially already the same program. They just lack features of each other, and it's not that hard to build a web OS that can do all those things. So, all right, then my strategy for actually making it happen has been to work on it by myself because nobody's willing to help me. And that hasn't worked so well. It's not that it hasn't worked. I could then show some of the clips or whatever of, you know, my current website, although it's in pretty rough shape and it's not actually live, which I should do. It's like, you know, if I could get out of my own fucking way and just work on something, but I just have such little, like, capacity to bite off these uncertain tasks of just work on this thing that I don't even know what it's supposed to look like or what it's supposed to say or do, or, you know, who's gonna click on what and from where and to what end. It's like I have a million ideas and none of them are good enough, or at least in the short term. It's like the big picture is obviously worth the while, but that means it's going to take more time and energy than I have to give. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. Now, I do think in that one pitch video, I could kind of like sneak in kind of this ulterior motive of like, yeah, I got these big ideas and eventually I want to do them, but I'm nowhere near in the mindset to like lead a team right now. Like I'm struggling in life, and so I just need help. I need to build a team I need to build a support circle. And from that, I could build a team. Focus group, you know, hang out, drinking buddies, group therapy. Thought about doing a lot of different angles on this shit. I thought my wife was going to text me the agenda for the day. I think I got it. What was it? It was 5 and then 6 to 6:30 and then back to get Sarah at 7. And then probably get some sort of takeout. I could talk about all the things that I failed at. I mean, that's probably a good bit to do, right? Like, show some of my stuff, show my little flying game, show, you know, all the internet marketing bullshit I've done. And yeah, I mean, I've thought about trying to play, you know, the badass card. Like, I'm looking for badasses to join my community. Problem with that is that, like, the people who are the badasses are gonna not be interested, and the people who I'm actually looking for might not be interested either. Like, I don't know, it's just not a good... Well, it's sort of like, you know, looking for people who have more skills than I do. I got some skills. They're not perfect, but, like, I do have some skills, and I know there's a lot of people out there with more skills than I do, but I would say I probably am more skilled than most people at digital things, just because of the amount of time I've wasted fucking around. So yeah, it's sort of an introduction to me. I mean, I already tried that once. I had that long video. I, like, you know, suggested people could watch it. Nobody did. Well, I even ran ads and nobody came. It's because those fucking ads were bullshit and Google took my money, and it kind of sucks. So
Yeah, an introduction to myself is it's probably not a bad way to go, and I could then use that as an opportunity to quickly kind of go through, the WebOS. Which could make billions. And Mastermind? I don't know. A lot of people, I think, are tired of Mastermind type shit because they just don't believe in it. I mean, is there a better term for like support circle or team or whatever? Like focus group? Following? But like nobody wants to follow somebody who's broken. Pity party? I mean, honestly, if that's kind of the best thing I have to offer at the end of the day, is a pity party. I mean, it is. It is kind of the only thing I got, and focus group. Group therapy. Small talk. Pity party. I mean, if I could get that Google Auth set up so that I can just collect email addresses, I'm not sure that's the best way to do it, but might not be the worst way to do it. I'm not sure if, or maybe just a Google form could be the right way to go. In a long video, I could put a link to a Google form at the bottom. Yeah, I mean the whole video survey thing. I've thought about this a million fucking times. Post a video. Put a link to a survey at the bottom. And I mean, that idea has been kind of the idea of a video chain where I could create, it's sort of like creating interactive content. And it could be, well, part of the thinking was depending on how you respond to the questions, then the system kind of like sends you another video. Could you do that with Google Forms, where like you basically opt into certain topics to see the next like step in the chain? I think you could, but it's sort of just like posting a single document of links and be like, here's what we got. Which one do you click through the links that you want or whatever. I guess it's a little more interactive and shit, and more like kind of, narrows everything down. It's not the right user interface in the long run, but in the short run, the idea of creating like a video chain, an interactive video chain where it's like, let's just say I got a list of email addresses, somebody opts in or whatever, maybe using a Google form. So I send anyone who opts in an email with a video and another survey. Could even be just a link to the form and then the video is embedded in it, because you can do that on Google Forms. I know you can put YouTube videos in there. So that could be an idea where you watch the video in the form and then you fill it out. And maybe based on your responses, then it sends you another email? Or does it just display a link? Or set of links for just like, you know, different questions that you could then respond to. And frankly, like, the questions could be pretty simple, where I just kind of read the question, but also sort of just like poke around in the topic. And so I've thought about doing this before. I think it could be pretty cool because, especially for some of the loaded topics, it's like trying to figure out what people think about some of these crazy things is it's tricky. But I would want to aggregate people's responses so that, like, later on, you'd have a opportunity to kind of revisit certain things or whatever. And that, digs deep into privacy and whatnot. So I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. But I mean, making it about me is kind of part of what I've thought is like an important part of the puzzle. It's like, if you want to join a mastermind community, you'd want to have a mastermind who is the best he can be to help elevate the community. Now, if you elevated me to success, I could just get lazy and dip. So making it kind of about me is maybe not the right idea, but like, I don't know, the whole pity party thing is definitely about like, who am I? What am I trying to do here? Now, I mean, creating a video about my framework is it doesn't take that long to explain how it works. I mean, the base of the framework is literally like one line of code, and it's super easy to understand for anyone who, has done web development like ever. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, so really selling that web OS is I think a big piece of the puzzle there, and it's not about like what I've got so far. It's about what it could become. There's unbelievable potential in the software design and development industry, and the future of those products, and the future of user systems and user data and email and privacy and phones and iOS versus Android and Mac versus Windows and operating systems and like privacy and police and law enforcement or whatever. It's and AI, it's fucking crazy, man. It's actually fucking crazy. I mean, I do think having some sort of survey, especially if it's email based, is a great idea, because it like takes the subscriber thing to a whole nother level. It's like, now we can connect. Now I can send you follow-up emails and whatnot. We can get to know each other, or we're not, but like, and the survey can just be like, basic, non-personally identifiable information. I mean, that's the way to fucking go, man. Like, All right, so yeah, figure out if people are a designer, developer, marketer, whatever, and well, it's sort of like, who are you? You can tell me as much or as little as you want. You could link me to a profile or 10. But, you know, eventually I'd like to organize it a little bit more structured way, like, so I could query all the developers or whatever. But right now, if you see this video, I just need to know there's somebody real out there. I mean, that's really my basic message is like, who are you? Like, tell me something. Doesn't fucking matter at this point. Just need to connect with people. I should probably go take a quick shower before the kids get home. Kind of want to go for a run, but definitely don't have time. Probably shouldn't leave the kids home alone. What do you believe in? Or just what do you believe? I'll tell you what I believe. I already fucking have, motherfucker. But yeah, probably shorten that one up a little bit. And I could leave a link to the Discord, for example. Yeah, I mean, creating a good intro video and like a survey to go with it is a great idea to like create that kind of foundation that I need to get started.
Um, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking I could suggest if people don't believe me, they can skip the video. Like, if you throw out those, like, you know, if you're non-believer, whatever, well, it's, you haven't given anything to believe in, but, like, if, you know, if you say something that's generally true, if you're like, if you disagree, just keep scrolling or whatever. It's kind of puts people to the test to be like, all right, like, I'm either going to keep scrolling if I disagree, or if I kind of agree, I guess I'll stay and listen to the rest of it. I don't know if that's a worthwhile endeavor. Do I want to try and shower real quick? Well, good talk. See you out there.